Hello. Excuse me. A little Halloween in my throat. My God. Hello and welcome to DCP SideQuest, episode number 157, the special spooky Halloween edition that
It's spooky.
is sort of spooky. It's not.
It's Monday.
Ooh, oh my God. That picture, I'm dead.
I've been saving that picture on my desktop. I was like, every now and then I'll be scrolling through Twitter or something and be like, oh, this is a perfect picture for like when someone's missing from DCP. And today's Halloween. It's perfect, right?
It literally is perfect. I'm impressed, honestly.
Kermit the Xenomorph. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
wow. And it kind of feels like Briar. Just a little bit, you know?
A little bit.
A little bit
It
Briar
has
right there.
Briar's essence.
Yeah,
to it.
essence of Briar, exactly.
Essence of Briar.
Which is delicious, let's be honest. Briar is delicious.
Yeah, he
how you
might
guys
not come back. He might get eaten by one of those horses.
Yeah, Briar's currently shooting horses, not literally, but like photographically. And
In Halloween costumes.
they're amazing. I love the idea of horses dressing up for Halloween.
Yeah, I don't
Really
see that
sets the
much.
bar.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you don't see it much. And then there's a whole bunch of themes. They had like the Mad Hatter. They had like, you said one looked like the Day of the Dead type of thing.
Yeah.
Which I do agree.
Which is apparently a dragon, and then to Briar looks like a luchador.
Yeah. A luchador Day of the Dead dragon. Awesome. All those together. Mav, you look great. Captain America, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I had a little stream this morning, so
Awesome.
I was like, then we're doing trick-or-treating, possibly. It's raining right now, so we'll see.
Classic
but,
Seattle. Yeah.
The whole family's Marvel, so we're gonna...
Nice.
we got the Scarlet Witch, Loki, baby is Spider-Man, Mr. Mav is Thor. I'm Captain America.
That is great.
Avenger style. It's like the darker.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
have
yeah. The
fake
Avengers outfit.
muscles. I'm squishy. It's amazing. You have to work out.
Do you feel empowered with more fake muscle on there?
I feel like I have a much harder time going to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Definitely.
onesie, so it's like, oh, great, awesome, I love that.
Yep.
Oh, man. Well,
I had to paint my face, so if you're wondering, if you're listening and you have no idea, my face is blue.
yeah. Mav woke up as Captain America.
I woke up this way.
Yeah, ready to go, ready for a fight. I just threw a cowboy hat on because I totally forgot about Halloween this year. So that's why I did.
It was weird this year. I was like ready for it. I was thinking about it pretty far out, and then I was just like, the Halloween vibes aren't vibesing.
No vibesies. Yeah.
It's because it's on a Monday, I swear. Like, I
Yeah.
don't have a full day to enjoy it, to like prepare. Because normally I'll put candy in bags to give to children. But this time, all the candy's just in a bowl, and I'm just going to be like, pick what you want.
Take it, kid.
I feel
Well,
like
mine
I've been
just looks
dressing up way too much for Halloween. Like, Halloween for me has been all month, and I'm ready to not dress up.
It's like a month of playing spooky games.
Spooky games ever since September, because I do Spooktember.
Nice.
And then October, and then every month we've done like a Halloween themed breakdown and show and stuff. And so it's like, I'm done. I'm done. My tree goes up tomorrow. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, are you like immediate as soon as November hits? It's like Christmas.
Everyone's lucky in my house, and anyone that knows me is lucky that I had a fun time decorating the house for Hocus Pocus, because we did like a watch party for it. Because
Nice.
the second one came out, and my house is nice and spooky and decorated. So I didn't decorate Christmas early, but usually I'm pre-Halloween trees up.
Wow, pre-Halloween tree up.
Mm-mm.
Wow, that's early.
Yeah. Well, then I was like, because my tree is like LED or RGB, and so
Okay.
I contemplated putting it up, but making it spooky, but I didn't.
Oh,
Okay,
you're gonna
I didn't.
do like a Halloween themed Christmas tree? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like a little Halloween themed, just to sort of keep it up, so I don't have to put it up later.
Like
'Cause it's
orange
a
and
big
black
tree.
on the lights, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
November 1st, it's immediate like full
It's
spectrum
like
RGB.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Put that
when
tree up.
when you're done with the holidays, how long does the tree stay up? At what
Oh
point
gosh,
in
summer?
January? Summer. Okay. So the tree's
January,
still
you're
up.
so sweet. January. Oh, that's cute. No, it was like summer, and the kids were like, "Mom, I think it's time to take the tree down." Which I forget about it because it's on the corner of the living room
Yeah.
where we don't really like hang out, and
Uh,
it's dark until summer. Like Watts knows, it's the eternal darkness of grayness here, and so it's just nice to
Yeah.
have something twinkly in the house
Yeah,
until
it's
there's
nice to
heat.
have lights. I'm looking at like I was like, I want a new lamp. I want a new light. Like I want to have lights everywhere so that
Hmm.
things are just illuminated
Right.
all the time instead of
Yeah.
having to put like a big light on because it's
Yeah.
dark. It's
Counteract the
real
darkness
dark.
of Seattle is what you're trying to do.
Real.
Yeah.
It
It
also just
really
makes
is
it feel
spooky.
cozier
Yeah.
Yeah.
with all the lights.
Yeah. Well,
Twinkly.
for us, we usually take down the tree sometime late January, maybe February.
Or it bursts into flames in California.
No, we don't do a real tree anymore. We've adopted the fake tree, so it's a little bit easier, but it takes up space. You know, we don't have like a
Yeah.
designated tree location. It's like we have to move some furniture around. This becomes the tree spot for a while, and yeah, so it's a bit of an ordeal.
Christmas decor is an ordeal, man. And, like
Mhm.
you need boxes of that, and you need a closet for your trees.
You gotta
'Cause
have
I have
storage,
the
right?
pink tree that comes in here. We have the living room tree. There's a tree in upstairs by all of our little gaming setups that we have. Like we have trees on the kitchen counter. There's
Are
a
they
lot
all
of trees in this
pre-staged?
house.
They all pre-staged right now, ready for opening tomorrow. Being like as soon as it
Yeah, you
hits
just push
November
a button
1st,
and they pop open.
get into place. You're like Disneyland, everything changes overnight.
Or that TikTok where they take like the ornament and they shake it and they throw it in the room and then they close the door and they open the door and it's like already decorated for you.
There you go. Yeah.
I wish that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about House of the Dragon.
We probably have to do that
segue.
last if we're doing spoilers.
Oh, you think? Okay. We
Well,
can do the last,
otherwise
yeah,
people
for
might
sure.
have to peace out of the show and not come back.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be a spoiler talk. All right. So, end of the show, we'll talk about House of the Dragon.
Then we can do full on spoilers, and then if you don't want to hear it, you won't miss anything else, so you don't need to worry.
Yeah.
And then we can be free.
Okay, here's a different TV topic then that we could briefly
Yeah.
discuss before we jump into other topics. Geralt of Rivia is changing. Season 4.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
We have
Uh-huh.
season 3 has already been shot with Henry Cavill, who's obviously an awesome Geralt. And then they were like, we're going to change actors. And it's going to be Liam Hemsworth for season 4. And they're like, just great, right? Right?
yeah, great. What's great? What's how do we categorize great here?
What a weird choice, right? Like, I
So
mean,
it's funny because the original actor said he's totally on board for all 7 seasons of The Witcher as long as one condition is met. And that one condition was that they were loyal to the original work of the books, etc. Because
right.
obviously he's a big fan. He's played all the games. He knows all the lore. That's probably why he's so good at the
Yeah,
character.
he's a lore master.
So the fact that he's not here now after he previously said that he's on board, I don't know. Maybe
Is this
Of course, things
speculation?
change.
Is it speculation
no.
that
He
he's...
said that in an interview that he
Oh,
was on
wow.
board for 7 seasons.
Oh, no.
And
I
of
mean,
course
is it
things can
speculation
change.
that he's jumping ship because like the writers haven't...
Oh, he made it super known.
Yeah.
There was also like like I think it was like an insert of an interview or something where he was like, yeah, the showrunner room is really difficult, and they, they're very he's so sweet. Henry is just so respectful, but he's like they're really inspired by a lot of things, but we really want to make sure we stick to the books and the story and just like the essence of The Witcher, and it's just
What's
I'm
weird
still-
is to think
I'm
that you-
processing it still.
Yeah, exactly. Same, because I was like, what? He was so amazing at this as the Witcher,
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's weird to think that the writers would take on the show and not be a fan of the books and games and all that. you know?
Yeah, apparently that's what we've heard, right? Is that the writers are actually not super big fans of the original work. So,
Which I'm not surprised because typically how like showrunners are, they are more Hollywood compared to like fans of the work. Like they're just writers. Very rarely, unless they make it known, are they like Henry, just jazzed about the actual, thing. And I mean, he took a pay cut. He was like, I want this role. Like so many things. And so it makes me really sad, especially Liam. Like first you disrespect our man Henry, and then you go and pick a loser fruit. Like what?
Loser fruit?
Literally, Miley dumped him for a reason. Okay, we stick with Miley.
We're getting the Hunger Games throwaway boyfriend. What?
Yeah, right. He stinks. Oh, maybe they'll do like a younger, like a throwback preface season or something. Where
I want them
like
to do some sort of like Witcher metamorphosis thing happened, and you fell into a vat of changing, shape-shifting stuff. Then it comes out as Liam, you know. And I'll be like
a terrible actor who doesn't really know his lines or anything, just like go off.
He could be in a terrible accident and have a misshapen face.
Yeah,
man,
could do that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Henry goes in, Liam comes out with a couple accidents.
Well, and it's interesting too because Henry's actually too pretty for the role. He's actually the Witcher is actually a really old, like decrepit, crusty old guy who is bestial. Like Henry's too pretty.
Remember, so when they first announced it was Henry, and people were like, "What?" And there was like, "Oh, he's a huge fan of the show," and be like, "Yeah, but he's Superman. Like, you don't have Superman being this like Witcher, rugged, like seen some hellish things, slaying demons and clearly affected by it." But then he just became the role perfectly, and I was like, "Wow,
you can just tell when an actor loves their role. Like you can tell." And he loved it, and everyone loved the role even more because of how much they knew he loved it and how much he was doing for it. Like, oh man, if you haven't seen the behind the scenes stuff, you really got it because he's done some crazy stuff for that role.
Yeah, really cool, and super sad at the same time. So we'll get one more season of him being the real Geralt, and then season 4.
Maybe he'll be shirtless more in this season, and he'll just really.
They'll make up for it.
He'll leave his mark, and then Liam, with half the size of Henry, will be like, "Let's do this." Oh man, I don't know. Makes me sad.
Yeah, that was strange. Yeah. Strange news.
You know what else made me sad today? We have lost a great person on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
Nibelian.
Yeah. That's right.
If you don't know who this person is, basically through all the madness of especially the last few years of gaming news where it's just all over the place, I didn't have to look at anything except his Twitter account because he would live tweet every single announcement, every single event, like everything you could want to know was on his Twitter account. And many people have said, journalists have said that they go to him to find out what's going on and then they write an article about it. Like he is the one-stop shop to know everything that's going on. And he announced today that he is leaving Twitter. So I don't know what he plans on doing, but he is not going to be on Twitter anymore.
Yeah, he put out a whole thing talking about how the viability of it being a sustainable source of income was just not really there. And I guess he had recently dropped a Patreon, but maybe didn't give it enough time. But even then, Patreon can be super finicky, so... it's unfortunate. I mean, it's also like on the heels of Musk taking over Twitter, and there's a lot of like uncertainty about what's going to happen with the platform. I mean, not to derail the conversation from that story, but
it's all related.
Him talking about wanting to make the check mark $20 a month, and then giving his developers that he just acquired an ultimatum of like basically the end of the week to make this a feature or get fired. I'm like, that just reeks of terrible management.
Okay, but they did force him to actually buy Twitter. Because a lot of the higher ups want to get paid out, right? So they're like, no, you said you're going to buy it. This is how we get to retire. Like, thank you for your time.
Totally.
Have fun with Twitter. But like,
Musk is just an
what were they
asshole in
expecting?
general. He's literally just like a thieving, scamming, dumbass bitch is what Musk is. Like, he showed up and he's like, yeah, I did Tesla. Yeah, even though he didn't make
Bought Tesla.
any of it. He didn't make any of it at all. He was like, yeah, PayPal, that's me. Again, didn't have anything to do with creating PayPal. He's just a guy who comes from a rich family in South Africa who exploits humans. Yep, exploits people to make money. And then he came and was like, yeah, I'll take all of your companies. That's me. I did that. I did PayPal and Tesla. That's me.
Wow. Classic
we won't
Musk.
even get started with his like underground sextortions. Like this
I
guy
don't know
is
the details on that.
no, don't Google it. Just know he's a pretty bad dude, and it's pretty funny where people are like, "Well, yeah, he owns Tesla." Like, if you're not paying attention to like the stuff for Tesla too, like it's a mess.
Yeah, no, it really is.
So, but Twitter's always been kind of a mess.
Twitter's been a mess, right? Twitter's kind of known to being like the hellscape of opinions, right?
The forumscape of mean words on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like gonna free it. I think that's what's really funny.
Free it for $20 a month.
Yeah,
you can be free. Freedom bucks.
Which, as someone who is verified, I would pay for it just for the moderation abilities. Even though I think every account should have as much moderation as a verified account has, because they don't compare. Like, I don't see a lot of these like new random accounts that come for me or the game I'm covering or whatever. You know, I never see any of that because I'm verified now. And so just from that standpoint, I'm like, oh, well.
Would you pay $20 a month for it?
I don't know if I would pay $20 a month for it. I think that would just tell me it's time to leave Twitter. I would just go somewhere else.
$20 is so high for a subscription.
There's so many people who don't actually use Twitter.
Like,
so
first off,
I'm not paying $20 a month. You can take the check mark. It's fine.
Yeah, you're not getting any streaming content for $20. Like, there's so much value, you know, that's been added to
edit
like
button.
Yeah.
It's all they're asking for you to pay for stuff for features that should just be features, period.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing,
I hope it doesn't go away, but you know.
The biggest sign to me, though, that it's like, oh boy, is him putting an ultimatum to the developers. I mean, it could be one ploy to just try to get people to leave so he can clean house, but that's just it's bad.
What is happening?
Right?
I thought the pandemic was interesting. Like, the 2020s are like, when kids learn about this, like little mister will learn about this in history and be like, what happened in the 2020s?
I mean,
like,
this is
what is happening?
Seriously. This is the same guy who, do you remember those kids that got stuck like in a cave? And there was this mass effort to try and save them. And Musk came along and was like, I'm going to build a submarine to get them out. And everyone's like, no, that literally won't work. And he was stopping efforts of actually saving the children so he could make his submarine. Like, come on. There's a man that leaves stray babies in a cave because he wants to be the hero with a thing that won't work because it's not big enough for a submarine.
Well, and I also love that he's like, just wait, give me an hour. I will have this submarine. And you're like, do you know how long it takes to build a submarine, sir?
No, because he's never built anything. He has no idea. He just shows up and he's like, hey, crypto, right? Reddit?
Yeah,
Reddit
right?
Crypto?
Oh
Woo.
my God.
Don't you guys love me with Reddit?
Do you remember when he was talking to Todd on stage and was like, I like your games, but they're not X-rated enough?
Well, I don't remember that.
Oh my God. And Todd was like,
okay.
If you haven't seen it, it's when they're both sitting on stage together. I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago, where he was interviewing Todd and he'd never really played a Bethesda game, but they wanted him on the stage. I think it was E3 or something like that.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, they're just not X-rated enough for me. There needs a little bit more spice in there.
What the heck?
You're like Fallout with like hentai. Like, I don't know, dude. What do you want?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Boss is like, you have my attention.
It's like,
I think I need some naked mod in all my games. That's what he was wanting.
I think there's always going to be some sort of villain in just socials in some way. Like there's always someone who's just going a little too far and you're like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well, Twitter.
The problem with like these very, very rich people owning a ton of things, it's just not good.
Yeah, but also it's kind of interesting thing about where Twitter is and where Twitter has like kind of become in pop culture, and then how he's like been forced to buy it, said he was going to buy it, and then backed out, and is forced to buy it, and it's like, I guess if you take a step back, you're like, yeah, of course it would be this. Of course it would end up like this, right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad we get to live through an era where Taylor Swift releases a midnight album during the sadness fall of Twitter. Like that's if you need.
And Rihanna put out music for the first time in a billion years.
6 years,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Wasn't it for it was for Black Panther, right?
Yeah, new
or
Wakanda.
Is it a full album?
Yeah, it's for the new Wakanda.
Yeah.
movie.
Yep.
So good.
Yeah. So
yeah.
There's a silver lining.
Obviously, look at me. Same team.
In terms of gaming news, what do we got?
Well, the thing that I was most excited about seeing is they did a Silent Hill presentation. First of all, it was really weird. Just the way they were talking and interacting with stuff, I was like, I don't know if they're trying to make it creepy, but it's definitely a little weird. It's a little creepy. But besides the point,
creepy in that they're weird. Got it.
They announced that they're doing a Resident Evil 2 complete remake, and this is being done by Bloober. They're the people that made the Medium most recently. So they have
Resident Evil 2?
No, sorry, Silent Hill 2. Okay. Silent Hill 2 remake by Bloober team. They also did what's that scary game everyone hates? Begins with an A. But they did the Medium. I can look it up.
Okay, yeah.
The Medium was interesting.
I really liked the Medium a lot. I really, really liked it.
I enjoyed the split level type of stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was super cool, and I loved how they had like a static camera, but it was like an updated static camera.
Yeah.
So it had the vibes of like early Resident Evils or early those kind of games, but updated.
Mm-hmm.
They did Layers of Fear as well.
Oh my gosh! So
Layers of Fear in the Medium.
Listen, Layers of Fear 1, I'll just say, very excellent. Okay, Layers of Fear 2, also excellent. Could not finish. They actually tweeted that they were trying to make sure no one could finish it because it was so scary. Congratulations. I could not finish it.
I've not played these games. Maybe it's time to play that. Next Halloween.
Next Halloween. Complete remake of Silent Hill 2. The original Silent Hill 2 came out in 2001. It is old as hell. And they also put out a trailer for their brand new Silent Hill game called Silent Hill F. And that was very creepy. There was lots of if you have the phobia of lots of little holes, probably won't like that trailer. And there's like flowers growing from people's skin, and yeah, it was weird. It looked great.
Wow.
I can confirm Silent Hill 2 plays like absolute hot garbage. I've actually started playing it. I started playing it last week because we raised money for Gamers Outreach, which was awesome. We got to raise enough for a cart, which they put like different, all the consoles on it, all the support games, everything for hospitals. So
cool.
Love them. But was playing Silent Hill 2. The HD version, okay, so it's like remastered-ish. But it plays so bad. Like I was fighting, what's her name with the pointy head?
Pyramid head?
The pyramid head. Okay, that fight bad. Because the mechanics are tank mechanics. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically you're inverted, kind of. And it's really hard to maneuver the game. And so when I was trying to find like a walkthrough,
one stick controls movement, the other controls angle and positioning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have to sprint with another button, and then you have to hold a button to do a melee attack, which really stinks when you're trying not to die and there's no healing. So but then when I was looking up a walkthrough to help me figure out, like, am I doing this right, or am I just really bad at games? Which both. I saw the trailer for the new Silent Hill 2 because I had watched the showcase, but I didn't understand because I'd never played those games. I get it. It looks awesome. I want to play that one. Because there's some scenes in it where it's from the beginning of Silent Hill 2, and you're like, this is amazing. I've been doing the same cutscene because I didn't live to the save point over and over, and they remade that cutscene, which is awesome to see. I understand a little bit now why people are excited, because there's like not to be graphic, but there's like some weird. I'm not surprised you're creeped out, Watts, when you're watching it, because like there's some really like threesome-y looking zombie situation angles. A lot of slurpy moany things, and I was like,
That's what I'm gonna be next Halloween, a slurpy moany thing.
Slurpy moany monster.
Can we just like human centipede a costume together, and then someone will have a pyramid hat on, and then there you go. That's scene number 1.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Silent Hill. I'm trying to like it. I heard everyone loves it. You know, like am I crazy that I think it plays like absolute?
Well, I think so many people played it when it came out. So for 2001, you know, it was up. You had Resident Evil and you had Silent Hill, and they were just like the 2 games that completely changed the way that scary games are. And you know, everyone's always like, "Oh, it looks very Silent Hill outside today." Every time there's fog, like it was such a huge cultural impact.
So the fog in the game, accurate. Like you can't see through anything. You're like and you have like this little remote that makes static noise the more you're around monsters, and so you're like, this is terrible. No UI, extremely creepy.
It actually reminds me of what's Kojima's game? Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Like that is kind of similar, right? Because you can't really see the things, and you can only hear them unless you use something. Yeah,
your little buddy just starts going off, and you're like, where? Antenna. I don't see it. And
basically that.
Yeah.
Basically that. But yeah, it definitely has an age. But
I can see why Silent Hill and Resident Evil are comparable, but the difference I've noticed, since I love Resident Evil so much, was that Resident Evil was more like zone based, and Silent Hill is more like map based. Like you're just in a building with 47 rooms, and they're like, have fun, good luck.
Yeah. Enjoy your out in the fog, and you're like, there's a freaking dinosaur here somewhere. What's going on? I can hear it.
Yeah, I think part of the charm of Resident Evil is that it's highly gamified. You know, there's a definite puzzle / resource management / understanding of how the world will unfold, and I think that's like what makes it partly magic. You know.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for Resident Evil 4 remake. Oh my gosh. That needs it so bad. That is Silent Hill 2 and 3 levels of graphical challenges that I couldn't even play it because it was too hard to play. I've tried playing these games, and I don't play scary games, so I've tried.
I'm looking forward to that remake. Yeah, that should be fun.
I want the new Resident Evil to come out. Come on.
Yeah, I've definitely I've been enjoying the new Resident Evils as well. So I that franchise kind of went from oh cool, then okay, yeah, more Resident Evils, to suddenly resurgence to like, whoa,
so
this
good.
is great.
Yeah.
Really liking what they're doing with it.
If you haven't played a Resident Evil, you need to start with 7.
I think 7's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's third person mode if you want that. They added that with the Shadows of Rose DLC.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you can play through the whole thing in third person if you want to. And
scary.
I guess I won't really say what Shadows of Rose is about, because it kind of spoils like Resident Evil Village kind of completely. But yeah, that recently came out.
Nice.
7 is very scary and also is in VR. So if you really want to pee your pants.
Yeah. Mama bugs. Oof.
Watts is playing that tonight, right, Watts? I'm coming over.
I was thinking of playing Shadows of Rose today.
Oh.
I might do that.
Look at, we got a little spoiler
It's
out.
Halloween.
You don't mean you don't want to play Silent Hill 2 on the Xbox 360?
I'll play the remake. And I'll play
Right.
the new one.
Speaking of remakes, when is Dead Space coming out?
Soon.
Is it soon?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh, so people are sorry, I'm like really excited about this game.
Same.
Dead Space.
It looks awesome.
I never got to finish it because also the controls for it are really hard to deal with.
Understandable. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are testing it and review copying it and announcing it. Like Callisto Protocol, someone was playing it for review, and Dead Space, someone was playing it for review. So it's done.
So it looks like on Steam it's saying January 27th.
Oh, that's a ways out.
Yeah, so definitely not anywhere near Halloween spooky season, which is a shame.
I mean,
get it,
it's
though.
still
The
spooky
protocol's
season.
coming up.
But you just gotta come out to
Right.
Washington, Teft.
Because then it's
spooky until
total
August.
spook. You go in the forest, bring a little mobile gaming rig, and then you're like played at midnight.
Bring your Steam Deck.
Bring your Steam Deck.
Bring
you
the
can just
Steam
hang
Deck,
out back.
sit in the giant redwoods,
patio.
and be
Yeah.
freaked out over spooky sounds and vampires and werewolves
That
and
would
stuff.
be pretty
That would
scary.
actually be really scary.
Yeah. That would be scary.
I feel like, is that a grizzly bear or a demon coming to tear me apart? Ah!
It's
I'm actually really looking forward to the Dead Space remake because I enjoyed Dead Space a lot, and I know they're remaking everything nowadays, but I think that's a great like survival horror kind of. It's like space Resident Evil.
Oh yeah,
Right?
I think
No,
it's good to
premise
remake
is
it
great.
too, because
Yeah.
the combat is atrocious and I hate it.
Yeah,
It's really bad.
I
It's really, really
tried.
bad. It's really bad.
I've tried. I
I
agree.
tried to go back because it's like Dead Space, the best game ever, and I was playing and I was like, this is awful.
Ooh, pretty rough.
It feels really bad.
I played it on
Everything
Steam,
else is
and like
great.
the frame rate was just all like broken, busted.
It's
I was
so
like,
hard to play them.
yeah. So looking forward to that. But you said Callisto Protocol. When is that coming out? That's like a couple weeks, right?
That's soon.
Very soon.
yeah.
It looks like Dead Space-ish, but it's different for sure.
Made by the original devs of Dead Space. So
there's a reason why it looks like Dead Space.
yeah, December 2nd.
Oh, December 2nd. Okay, yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, soon
But
for
yeah.
spooky vibes.
I'm excited to see the difference between these two.
Yeah. Yeah,
just
it's
gonna
gonna be
watch Watts
interesting
play.
to see. You're gonna play it.
I require a special scary alert in your stream though for those games. Thank you in advance.
You know it is coming out real soon. It's gonna be a big title. And the reviews are coming out in a couple
Don't
days.
think anything's coming out soon that's big.
Yeah, I know, right?
Overwatch 2? Oh wait, I played that today.
The tale of the support mains. Overwatch
I know.
Yeah, I tweeted about that
2. Yeah.
and it took off because it's true. It's
Just
all
tough out there
facts.
playing Overwatch if you're a support main.
So Overwatch, the biggest change is they went from 6v6 to 5v5, and before it was 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 healers.
Right.
Now it's 1 tank, 2 DPS, 2 healers. So the tank's job now, it's like you have to be the forward front line, but sometimes you also have to peel back, and you got to do different things. You can't just do one thing and never turn your camera around. Okay?
Got to multitask.
You got to multitask. So
Did
for
you watch my
support,
stream today? Like, don't judge me.
so for supports in Overwatch 2, like the job of everyone now is just to hunt down the support and murder them. Because when the support is dead, you win the fight, easy peasy, no problem. So you have people constantly flanking you. If you're in a fight with the rest of the team, you'll have the tank just running you down, and you're just like, I don't know, guys, maybe like do something about it. I don't know. Or go kill their healers. I don't know. One or the other. You got to do one or the other. So if you are a support player now, you have to be better than the enemy DPS because they're going to be pushing and you have to fight them and no one will help you because turning your camera around is too difficult.
Tough.
And you have to heal them constantly and they'll get mad if you do not. And yeah, you kind of have to do everything perfectly, or it just all falls apart.
It's like a real support role because like it makes me think of when I used to raid heal in Warcraft and like you're just like, why are you in the stuff? Why are you around a corner? Why are you like not by the healer? Like what are you doing?
How about when you're pushing forward, that's great, and I have to be back here a little bit if I'm playing like Ana or something, but just move into line of sight. You just move, be a little bit aware of what is going on. Just like the tiniest amount of awareness would be truly a miracle. I know it's the hardest thing in games for people to have awareness of what's going on, but you can't be like, why are you not healing me when you dive solo into the entire team? And I'm like, I can't see you. I don't know what to tell you. I can't go that fast. I'm not that speedy.
Well, I know heals when they're literally in the enemy team.
Yeah, I will say Overwatch plays way more similarly to like a MOBA than an FPS. So if you've played like League of Legends, or even if you play, like MMOs and you've been a healer, it plays out very similarly. So it's like, even if you have someone healing you, maybe we don't stand in the AoE, maybe we move out of that. Maybe we duck behind cover when our health gets low sometimes. Maybe, just an idea.
Maybe, yeah.
What?
Instead of being like, heal me all the time and win your 1v2 with the DPS. Thank you. It's not that difficult. It's kind of amazing. The lack of awareness is truly something I've never
Do you
seen
think
before.
it's just because people are jumping in new and trying to figure out like the flow of the game still?
I think that they are going towards a PvE situation because they did mention that it was. I mean, I remember talking about with you guys like they want it to be PvE, and Blizzard PvE is Warcraft, so it's like it's very role heavy, and so maybe they're going to do something that's like raid, dungeon, strike adjacent, where it's like.
These
You're going
roles
towards
really matter.
the monsters and these roles matter. And then maybe they're trying to get people used to the smaller group style. But it does feel off a little bit.
Sure.
For PvP.
They need to do some adjustments for sure. Because right now, if you queue for support, you barely have time to take a swig of your drink. If you queue for anything else, you're waiting for a while. So there's going to be no support mains left. It's just going to be people who get put in the role because they need someone in the role. And then it's just going to turn into even more of a disaster. So I think they need to do something because, you are literally having to do almost all of the jobs on the team.
Yeah, that sounds pretty rough. Sounds like they have to create way more enticement to be a support main, essentially, right? To fill those roles.
Yeah.
It's like a whole bunch of people just want to be
they give
else.
you extra XP if you queue as any role, which usually it's support. And if you queue as support, you get extra experience points, but it's not a ton. And it's not like, I don't know, because even, I guess if you're Zenyatta or something who does damage a little bit, it's more like enticing for people to play a support who generally like to do damage, but sometimes just, it's interesting.
Seems like it's out of whack.
No,
they're
nerfing a ton though. They're nerfing a ton right
they
now.
Are. They are. Yeah. They're making a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Thank God. Because she literally in a team fight will just run at you as a support. The whole team's around you and you're like,
I don't know. Crush me.
What am I supposed to do? I'm just going to sit here and die, I guess.
The pink-haired lady crushed me with her thighs again. I'm going to run back out and see how it's different.
See how this goes. Let me try again. Yeah, it's very interesting. I think a lot of it though is people really do just need to understand the ebb and flow of the game. Like sometimes you as a DPS player is going to be the best thing to go and try and kill their healers. If that's not working out, killing the enemy who's, behind you and then pushing with the advantage of numbers would be the smart thing to do. So you just have to change what you're doing. But people do this in basically every game where it's like, I like doing this with this character and I'm just going to do that. And if I win, I'm going to win, and if I don't, I'm going to complain that it's not my fault.
Dear Blizzard, your game make me angry.
Maybe they can give you some skin currency for playing support, because currently you get nothing. So
That's what I was
That would be
wondering, if
amazing.
some sort of
I wish it was.
incentive, right? Like a higher chance for
Yeah.
getting stuff or whatever.
Well, you get experience points, which goes towards the battle pass, which goes
Right.
towards some iteration of skin or whatever, but it's not like substantial, really.
Yeah,
No.
they need it. It needs to be significant enough to shift the population to want to fill those roles, or make them more viable in general, right?
You can maybe give it a little bit of a health bump so that you can
Yeah.
have a better chance of 2v1ing
Right.
with DPS.
Yeah. So, the game I was actually talking about that's coming out this week is Ragnarok.
Is it this week?
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, no.
shoot.
This
It's is it the
This month.
7th? No, it's real soon. It's like in a week.
Oh my gosh. Well, isn't there spoilers already happening? Oh, that makes me so upset.
Let me verify.
People are already like,
Yeah, please verify. I'm having a panic attack.
people are already tweeting about the story. which
November
means
9th.
that
Sorry.
it's
So like a
got
week and a
my-
couple
The 9th.
days. Yeah,
Okay.
but still, it's
That's
coming up.
That's really
The
soon.
reviews, I believe, are dropping in a couple days, like the 3rd or something like
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I wonder what they will be. Oh, I wonder.
Like, save
Oh,
your money.
here.
I don't
I
know.
wonder if it's gonna do well.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
incredibly
wow.
excited for this. Yeah. I absolutely love the first one, and
Mhm.
like I played through all the way, and just I did most of the side stuff. So I'm really looking forward to this version. Like,
I wish that the first one had a better ending. Like the ending was such a cliffhanger that you're like, oh, obviously there's a second one coming, but like it just felt too much of a sequel push
yeah,
for me. Like there wasn't like a finale end. It was like, okay, end.
okay. I
but
hear you,
still-
but there was so
but
much in that
still.
game. There was so much in that game that you went through that was kind of like,
Yeah.
this is like a new
I wish
saga.
that there was like, I wish that there was like a nice, sweet conclusion to like that first story there, because I loved it so much. Like if you haven't played God of War, the first one, like obviously all of them are great, but like the most recent one, I bawled my eyes out. I loved the story with the mom and like the arcs that were happening, but like the ending, it's like, don't do this to me. Give me an ending.
But now we have Ragnarok.
I know. Now we have Ragnarok. They better get a good ending. Thor better be amazing.
Well, I'm assuming that this is going to be a, like a 3-part trilogy type of saga that they're doing, because they said they were kind of rebooting with the first one. So I'd imagine this is going to be, it's probably going to set up for a third one at the end. But if it's like the first one, it's going to have a bunch of meat, and you're going to be like, wow, what a journey I went through. And now I get to be excited about a third one 5 years down the road.
Oh, God. That's how I feel about Resident Evil. It's going to take forever to get the new one out, but just love them so much.
Yeah.
God of War is great.
God of War is great. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, so the 9th, coming up very soon.
Very, very soon. Wow.
Very soon.
There's so many games. I don't have time. I need time for my time.
Speaking of that,
Mhm.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty got a release date.
Really?
Oh,
When is
Do
this?
you want to guess when it is?
2024.
Oh, hold up. People in chat are confirming they already said no on a third one, so my bad. I'm wrong about the trilogy, so I guess it is a 2-part. So yeah. So your wish is already
knows?
granted. Your wish is already
Who
granted,
knows?
Mav. It's going to be,
Big
they're going to
good
tie
ending.
up
It's
all,
over. End
You're
it.
going to tie it up.
every single question you might have had will be tied up perfectly at the end of Ragnarok.
Can they do that for
Do you want
Lightfall?
to guess
Or
the
what?
release date? Oh, it's funny you say Lightfall. You want to guess the release
Oh,
date?
so
of
it's
Wolong?
coming out
no!
literally during Lightfall?
So Lightfall comes out on the 28th, right? Which is like the last day of February.
Mhm.
Wolong comes out on the 3rd of March, which is that Friday.
It's a big weekend.
Comes out in the same week. So goodbye, Lightfall. I'm playing Wolong.
You heard it here first. Breaking
Watts
news.
is deleting all of her Destiny characters.
Done.
Exclusively playing Wolong.
She does not want to be a Ninja Turtle this time.
Well, that's exciting.
It's coming out. Yeah, I knew it was going to come out in March because they released all of their games in March. I wasn't expecting like the first week of March.
Yeah,
Um,
I've just come to accept that when Destiny releases new content, major new content, it's always going to be around something else that's major. And I'm just going to
mhm.
have to be like, okay, well, I'm playing this, and I'm playing that, or I'm playing that, and then I'm playing this. And
Yeah,
just accepting the.
February area is the new big release window
Yeah.
for all the games.
I think the only thing that would truly kill everything is if they did a DLC for, the game of the year. The big one,
Oh,
Elden Ring.
Cult of the Lamb?
Cult of the Lamb, yeah. If Elden Ring was like, hey, we got a DLC, it's coming out when Destiny's coming out, I'm gonna be like, are you kidding me?
See, that's well long for me. It's like, if not even more so than Elden Ring
Yeah?
DLC. Team Ninja's games are they're just too good. And Wolong is like Sekiro plus a Team Ninja game. And
Right.
yeah.
I like Sekiro.
So what
That's
if it
a
was
very good one.
Wolong and DLC for Elden Ring?
And extra haikus.
Well,
And extra
luckily, the leak said May, so I think we're safe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Allegedly,
exciting.
for entertainment purposes.
I will clear out my entire summer for Elden Ring.
Yeah, clear out May. Get
DLC.
rid of May. No, nothing in May.
Oh,
Good time to
God.
release it. Basically, nothing does come out in May.
That's true, yeah.
Well, you're just jinxing it now.
Yeah.
Well, except for isn't the next Zelda coming out in May?
Oh my god, it is, yeah.
that would be, actually that would be full circle because Horizon Zero Dawn first came out against Breath of the Wild. And then the next Horizon came out with Elden Ring. And then it will be Elden Ring DLC versus Zelda. So it's a
Yeah.
full circle of
It's
the
a real
open
matchup.
world games.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid I have to play Zelda over Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta go in the sky. Also, I'm scared of Elden Ring.
Yeah. Did it affect you?
The frame rate really was the spookiest part
Oh.
for me.
Oh, you played on PC.
Well, I played on I played PS5, but the frames weren't locked at the time. So then I downloaded PS4 and the frames were locked, and then something else came out, and then something else came out, and then something else came out. And so
So you never played it? Like beyond the opening?
I've watched Mr. Mav play it, and I played a little bit of it. Like I've gotten completely wrecked on my goat horse thing creature.
Yeah. Mythical beast.
For sure.
Mythical stallion.
But I haven't. Oh no, I fought one guy, beat the basement pumpkin head looking guy in the
So-
first zone.
Elden Ring for me was a slow burn in the beginning because I was expecting another FromSoft title, and when it wasn't
Right.
like a FromSoft title, I was a little disappointed. I was like, hey, I'm supposed to have this area, unlock this area, and then comb through this area and fight this boss. And then, I was expecting like this formula that I'd come to get used to. And once I accepted that that wasn't going to happen, and I began to experience what Elden Ring was, it then ruined like all other games for 3 months at least, where I was like,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
am I supposed to play other games when this is in my head? Like.
And you can't stop playing, because if you do stop playing games like that, then you forget how to play, and then you lose the mechanic learning because you keep adding new abilities. And
Mhm.
so you take too long of a break, you have to relearn.
Well,
and then
also
you
the
have to
map
go
is so
back to a
big
lower
too.
level.
The map is
Oh,
like
it's-
massive, so it's like
It's like Breath of the Wild, but monsters want to hurt you everywhere.
yeah, and like all these different Anyways, it was an
I
experience
love
for me.
Bloodborne. I want all the rumors to be true of a remake of Bloodborne.
I would absolutely love that. I'd play it immediately. Bloodborne's incredible.
It's the best.
Yeah.
I've never finished it, but I've gotten pretty far. I think I've
Never
put so
finished?
many hours in it
So you never played the
that
DLC?
it should count as finishing it. I've had like 100 something hours in that game, and I just have never beat it.
I've got several playthroughs started where I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna use this weapon throughout the playthrough, and I'll get like halfway through, and I'll be like, I'm just gonna use this weapon throughout, and those are really fun. I did a
Yeah.
Kane only playthrough, beat
I
the DLC boss.
beat the
alone.
werewolf in one shot. That was
Nice.
kind of interesting. Never again, though.
Gascoigne, Father Gascoigne. Yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea what I rolled into, and it was his like room. And then I killed him, and I was like, "What was that?" And they're like, "That's a boss." I'm like, "Okay, don't ask me to do that
Weird
again. I can't
side
do it.
enemy that had a lot of health. That's strange.
Why can't I leave the zone?" This was so long ago. This was like purple Mav hair era. This was like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, the game did come out around there. That's crazy to think about.
It's old too. Help.
Yeah. Yep. Any other gaming news? Things to look forward?
There was like maybe 2 things that were just kind of interesting. Steam hit a brand new concurrent user record.
Really? What was that?
So that was pretty cool. It won't let me scroll on the website because I need to pay money.
Ooh.
But it was something like
a lot of people.
Was that something
a lot
like
of
30
millions.
million concurrent or something ridiculous?
Jeez.
Let me
that's
check.
a lot.
Steam
Does
new
the Steam Deck
record.
count? Because I was a part of that.
Yeah. 30 million. Yeah. 30 million concurrent users.
Just me and Disney Dreamlight helping push the number over on my couch.
I did not play that. Memes played it. She loaded up a new account, and she's been playing on Game Pass, and she has been enjoying it. So
Listen, get those pumpkins, water them, love them, treasure them, feed them, sell them.
she's been unlocking characters, making friends. It's
Wait,
quite
have you guys played Gotham Knights at all?
Oh yeah, I haven't.
No.
Yeah.
Heard it was a stinky butt. Actually, it's really
That's why
fun.
I've avoided it.
Yeah, and I love DC comics so much.
Mhm.
Don't look at my face. Don't listen to me. So, but
What's that, Captain America?
Right. What? Hello? I look like Nightwing now. It's fine. But I love DC so much. And, you know, there are some things to this game that could have used extra sauce, you know, love in the dev tank. But
Mhm.
I don't know. It's so much fun. I don't understand the reviews. Like, I truly am at a loss.
Sometimes
even
that
the
happens,
frame
though.
rate, it was fine. It looked, it was great.
Yeah, I've found that before as well, where like a lot of the reviews will say this about a game, and I'm like, I didn't have any problems with that, or didn't feel a certain way about the combat. Yeah,
I haven't played the new Call of Duty though, which I heard is great. I'm scared.
I've sworn off Call of Duty.
Yeah, I played the demo and it was trash, so no thank you. It's not what it used to be. It's not. It's slow and tactical and boring, and I don't like that.
You've got
Every
Overwatch
single
2
FPS
now.
that comes out is slow, tactical, and boring.
Yeah.
So I don't. I'm not interested.
True.
Should we talk about?
Listen, for millennials, okay, we're slow now.
Yeah.
No, it is slow. I want it to be fast. That's the problem. It's too slow. Slow, more campy than ever.
Should we talk about House of Dragon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so we're
for
gonna talk
anyone
spoilers.
listening, we're jumping into spoilers for House of Dragon. We're not going to be talking about anything else after this, so you are free to leave without worrying about missing any of the show.
That's
that you don't
right.
want to hear.
We've covered basically everything for Halloween. Last day of October. Now it's time to talk House of Dragon. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Leave now.
Can I just say I'm sad we didn't get to see a Stark.
Yeah, there was an allusion to it as well at the last episode, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of that, because they mention a lot of places, right? But it's mostly just around like 2 very specific places. I
Yeah.
think they're kind of leaning on the fact that the original Game of Thrones was everywhere and showed you everything to kind of spend this time in House of Dragon in a more intimate story.
Yeah.
And
the
being
Red Keep
everywhere.
and Dragon Rock and Driftwood, basically. Yeah, those places.
Just want to see
I
who
think
they
that's
cast for
okay.
everything. I'm like,
True.
I can see a little bit if I just look hard enough through my binoculars.
Well,
I really
people-
loved the ending.
Yeah?
The last couple episodes where everyone was in it.
Mhm.
Do you remember? Was it episode 7 or 8? One of them, they were all in the same scene
At the
And-
like
The-
funeral.
Funeral or
pre-funeral.
the
Was
dinner.
it funeral?
The dinner?
The dinner.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, yeah,
an
the dinner was
incredible
great.
episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
The dinner was great.
I feel like acting wise, it's all been like incredibly stellar. Just really
Yes.
high marks, and like visually, all incredible visuals. Like just they've clearly spent a lot of money, and it's been worth it because it's got high viewership and
Yeah.
it looks fantastic, you know?
Yeah.
I think where I have problems with the show is that they jumped 20 years in one season. I'm like, 20 years?
Yeah,
There is a lot
they were
of
trying to
stuff.
do yeah, there's a lot that you kind of don't see on screen, and I guess they did the time skips in maybe the best way that they could, because like they set up something in this episode, and then in the next episode where they do a big time jump, you see the fruits of the labor of the thing that they set up. So you don't
Yeah.
necessarily need to see it, but some of the time skips are definitely weird because some people look exactly the same as 20 years
Sir
ago, which
Kristen,
you know,
that didn't
incredible, Sir
age.
Christian. I guess being a dumb bitch makes you not age. So
That
that's
skincare
level.
I
regime
can't wait till he
is
dies.
top
I want
notch,
him to
right?
die
I
so
want to see him
bad.
get impaled.
He's terrible.
I
He's
want to
just
see a kid
terrible.
take him out.
He's
Yeah.
so
Oh, that would be
annoying too.
righteous. Yeah.
He's not just a bad guy who does like bad things and gets away with it. He's just annoying.
He's an
He is
annoying bitch.
annoying.
Yeah.
He is. He's annoying.
He got turned down one time on the boat, and now he's like, that bitch, I'm gonna forever hate you. It's like, dude, you're a knight of the you've been
Like-
sworn to protect and stuff. Come
Yeah.
on.
Oh, yeah.
I just love how he's such like the white knight queen's dog, the situation. Like, because I'm glad that they portrayed knights that way because they do fight to the death for you,
Right.
even if it's wrong. And he's doing it and it's wrong. And, you know, even the episode where the queen went mad, right? And she like didn't quite stab her, but like they
Slashed her.
they slashed her, but
Yeah.
she like force slashed herself there. It seemed like just like really interesting how the last the last episodes were, especially with like the slow overturn and what is it? The coup.
Yeah.
Just like
Suddenly
going in.
installing,
That was I
installing
don't think
Aegon as king. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I blinked that whole episode.
Yeah, that was great, right? Yeah, it was a great like just like I said, everything was shot, acted like
Incredible.
really well done on that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also really showing like civil wars happening, right? Because like even Allison and her dad, like they want the same thing, but they want to do it completely different ways. So there's like tension between them. And then later on, you see the same thing with Rhaenyra and Daemon, where they both are trying to do like the same thing, but they have very different ways of going about it. So it's not just like greens versus blacks. It's everybody versus everybody. Everyone hates everybody.
Same teams fighting within the same team.
Yeah,
It's
against the
like
other team, against
everyone wants this, but they don't know why. They just want it.
Yeah, I'd just be like, man, I'm cool with my castle. You know, I'm not a common person. I got food. I'm sitting pretty nice. I don't need to be the queen. I don't need it. Unnecessary. I guess you don't have much else to do, so you might as well wage a war with dragons, right?
Guess so,
Well,
right?
especially with like bringing the dragon up into the building like that. It was pretty wild to see.
That was crazy. Yeah.
Just
I feel
sort
like-
of like
I feel like a lot of people died from that.
Yeah.
A lot of common
Just
folk
like-
got wrecked. Yeah. Busted that dragon out.
I do love her though. She's great.
She is awesome, and I loved how the next episode, Rhaenyra's like, "Why didn't you? You could have done something." Or Daemon was like, "You could have
them.
You could have cooked them," and she was like, "That's not my war to start. I have other battles." And how it was like Team Girl Squad basically was formed because she became like a really close ally to Rhaenyra, and
Yeah, that was cool to see.
that was really
develop.
cool to watch.
Yeah.
They did not like each other, and she was like, "No."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's been blamed to death. She thinks her son is dead because of her.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of bad blood to put away. To then be like, actually, she's gonna be a good queen. Yeah, we should.
Yeah, 'cause she was like, currently, she's the only one that's stopping this whole place from being on fire. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
we do
it's
wanna
really cool
help.
to see that how like she's legitimately gonna be a good queen, and the king is just a total piece of junk. Like
Oh my god, the worst.
trash person, and his brother too is a trash person. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
like that whole
They're-
line
they're
is clearly
terrible.
just bad blood. Yeah,
He has bastard children in a fighting pit.
yeah,
Like, hello?
yeah. It's
Okay,
crazy.
he just leaves him there. Yeah, it's just my kid.
Mhm.
He's fighting to the death.
Yep. So
It-
again, I do have some problems with the show though. Like again,
Yeah.
that 20-year span, I'm like, It's a lot to jump. It's like suddenly
It is
someone
a
had
lot.
3 kids. You'd be like, oh,
There's
and they're
just a lot
grown.
of childbirthing scenes, which
There was a lot of childbirthing.
which I appreciate as someone who has birthed a ton, but also like I'm good.
Sometimes you're like, you
Good.
know what? You didn't need to show that specific shot. I already got an idea of what's happening. Didn't need to show that. That was, you know.
That's Game of Thrones, though, right? They're
It
like,
really
hey,
is.
no one else shows you this. We're gonna just show it to you.
Yeah.
They're like, we didn't have enough death, so we need more blood. But how
Yeah.
can we have more blood if no one is dying yet? And they're like, oh, we'll just make her
Zing.
childbirth the bloodiest experience of all time. And then everyone
What do
who
you
isn't
think
a
about
mom will never
stillborn?
understand. You know, like,
Everyone
they're
who
like,
isn't a
"Oh
mom
my
is now
God."
not becoming a mom. They're like, this doesn't look great. Not gonna lie. Looks
Oh, God.
Oh,
less than
God.
ideal.
Yeah. So those time jumps, they were really like I was like, whoa, okay. But then also the king, who I think like supposedly has some form of leprosy, lives for 20 years and is practically dead. I'm like, when is this guy gonna die? And also writing wise, it's
Viserys
like
is incredible. I forgot his name. Who acted him?
Patty something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's incredible. Like
Yeah,
he
he's a
played
phenomenal
him
actor.
so well.
Mhm.
He
Beautiful
looked
actor, yeah.
so gruesome and just disgusting.
Yes.
And I love how what did they call him? Viserys the Kind or something?
The peaceful, I think.
Is his
The
legacy.
peaceful.
The
Yeah,
peaceful.
because he
Something
kept
like that,
peace
yeah.
for the entire time he ruled. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, like he's a brilliantly acted, but when it comes to the writing, I'm like, hold up. He knew that the hand was poison, got rid of the hand, and then when the other guy got burnt in the building, was like, yeah, let's bring the poison guy back. Like he didn't think to select anyone else in the keep in the
I
kingdom.
don't think he's very smart. And I think it's really hard when you're leading the 7 kingdoms to like not get poisoned or killed or something, you know, and
Yeah, that's a
when
fair
you have
point.
no one to support and then your wife is this fiery, pissed off high tower, green
Yeah.
dress wearing, revengeful,
Well,
fightful witch.
you know what though? Like originally I was like, oh yeah, she's just super spiteful and all that, but really it's like her father was just dropping
Oh,
all
yeah.
these poison pills into everything.
Yeah.
And even in that in the episode prior,
She's
episode
like,
9,
this is my game.
yeah, she's like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want her to die. I'm not like asking for this, that outcome.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So
The
yeah,
guy,
it just
the sneaky guy with the crutch.
oh my god, that one scene? What the hell was up with that? Like why?
Oh, that's why that's like the foot fetish thing.
But why even have that? Like he's gonna jerk it to her
that's
feet?
so Game of Thrones. Like
Oh
you
my
have to
God.
have something like that in the show. Otherwise, it's Rings of Power, right? Like you have to be careful who's watching.
Like clearly he's into feet, but I think what he's into more is making a
queen's feet.
powerful, the powerful woman sit there and, be at his whim. Like he can clearly see she doesn't like it. So I think he really enjoys having that power.
Yeah, that makes sense. What a strange scene. I was like, this is just making me
Foot
question.
fetish is back in the day, what they were actually like.
Yeah, it's like it just made me question the queen's motives and also like
What she's willing to do. Yeah.
and willing to assess people's character and like, okay, is this person actually bringing good decision making? Like.
Well, he's such a worm that, of course, like he brings so much information, right? Like all the secrets, everything. Like, and then he handles situations, and she doesn't have to think about it or say
True,
she was a part of it, right? She's like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah. Plus, he's obviously dangerous because he killed the other guy, or had it. He was like,
Literally lit her husband on fire.
yeah. You're like,
Like,
problem taken care of.
it's impressive.
Yeah. You know what? Did they
We didn't talk
show-
about the dragons in the sky.
Oh, that fight with what is it, Vagar and Arax?
Yeah.
Arax. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
I
was
just knew,
obviously
I was like,
coming.
ooh, that whole time from when he arrived at Stormvale or whatever, that's Elden Ring.
And yeah.
I was
Elden
like,
Ring, yeah.
ooh, the whole time I was like, ooh.
As soon as he slashed
Especially-
the eye, I was like, well, clearly he's gonna die at some point because of this bad blood, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and then when you saw the big dragon in the distance as he's got on his little whelpling, you're like, and the storm,
leave. You should leave.
and the
Send the
storm
crows.
is getting worse. Like, you know, it's about to really go down.
Yeah.
You don't know when, because
Yeah.
like they already got there, but like, right? Because
Yeah.
that was House Baratheon.
That was Baratheon house, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which they're a little pompous in character, which was fun to watch. To see that house. That's why I was like, oh, I want to see the next one. And because obviously the elder son went to
The Starks, right?
Winterfell.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, which is clearly going to be season 2 type of stuff. Yeah.
And then the end when Daemon tells Rhaenyra about her son. And then
Mhm.
that's like, it cuts to that. Like, can you do this?
And then you see a very pissed off Targaryen queen.
Yeah, I thought that was
We have seen-
fantastic.
I thought
She
it was
held
so
back.
good.
She
It
held
was
back
so
as long as she
good.
could until they really pissed her off.
Yeah,
The like
exactly. Now it's like
comparison
this
with
is war.
Daenerys's face when she had finally lost as well, as even though that was all bad and done bad. You could tell that they were going for like, hey, look what you've done. You've upset a Targaryen queen. We know what happens when you upset a Targaryen queen. Okay.
Gonna be
We know what-
dragons.
They literally
Going
have
burning.
so many dragons too. Like
Yeah.
Daemon's like, hey, she's like, oh, how many dragons do we have? And he's just like, I've incubated like 47 in the basement. Just let me know.
We have
when
13
send the
rideable.
fleet
There's
out."
40. Yeah.
Just let me
He
know.
was like
when we send the fleet
immediately
out.
war commander as soon as she
He
asked.
is. He's
He's
like,
like,
we
here's the
have
numbers.
15 soldiers, 25 dragons, riders. If we got a rider on the red rider, who's gonna
Yeah.
ride that guy? Don't worry, I got to figure it out.
By the
Who's
way,
on top?
of all the people, I mean, there's obviously all this amazing acting. I think is Matt Smith, is that his name? Matt? something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's amazing.
Doctor Who.
He's an amazing actor. Like his
He's-
performance.
He's great as Daemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just like you feel it as him. Yeah, so
Creepy.
The dragon,
Creepy, yeah.
the dragon. So obviously Vagar is like the biggest dragon. Been
Mhm.
through a bunch of
Oldest,
wars, got a
biggest.
lot
the
of
chunk, the
Yeah.
ultimate chunk.
big chunk. But we did see Daemon singing to
Oh, that's
another
right.
dragon.
Mhm.
And this dragon, I can't remember exactly, but I think it's the third biggest. So it's not as big
Oh.
as Vagar, but it's definitely a big,
Yeah.
big dragon. So they do have a big dragon. And if you have like 50 little dragons, maybe
Dragon
the
squad?
swarm.
Yeah,
the
swarm up.
swarm
Clearly,
Many
you can
whelps.
rip a dragon apart.
Many whelps. Handle them.
Yeah.
I actually also really loved that none of what happened in the sky between those two was really down to them. It
Yeah,
was
it was the
them
dragons.
not being able to control their dragon, which kind of goes back to what Viserys had said before of like, it's a myth that Targaryens can control dragons. Like we don't actually control
Right.
them.
That's true. And you remember when he was like flirting around trying to attack the smaller one, and then he went off and he was like, "Oh yeah, I went into hunt mode. It's dead."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like
Nothing
really
to do to stop it.
you can't control wild animals, first of all, and second of all, when you have a really, really old dragon who's been around the block, who knows the words and commands, and if he wants to play, he's gonna go. Then
Yeah.
you invited that, so.
Yeah, that's what it showed for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
War.
So I also I do kind of love, I like the thing of Aemon not meaning to kill him. He clearly wanted to
Mhm.
do something to him, but he didn't want to kill him. And just that look on his face of realization
clearly
that
felt
like
bad.
I've started a war.
Yeah, it was two-found. It was like, oh, I killed my nephew or brother.
Cousin.
Yeah,
whatever.
and that's
Cousin.
a really
Nephew,
big
same.
deal in this world because like there's a title for that. It's kinslayer, right? Like
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
big deal to
Yeah.
kill like one of your
He
family.
unlocked
Family.
Kinslayer
Yeah.
in Destiny. That's the new title he's walking around with.
Yeah, he is. He's walking around with that.
Yeah, but it showed he was like acknowledged that he definitely did not mean to kill his kin, but then
Yeah.
also like he started the war. This officially
Yeah.
starts like actual war.
Yeah.
Doing that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's different from the books.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that is
Cool.
different from the books. It wasn't like an accident and an accidental like, oh crap, we've started the war. But I actually really like that they did that. I think it fed well into what Viserys said about not being able to control the dragons, and maybe that's kind of setting us up for just what the dragons end up doing in the war, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know. I haven't read the books. I watched stuff after the episodes to see what's different.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, like that's kind of set it up, and I just like that you get to see more emotion from Aemond. It's not just I want to kill person. I'm a bad guy and I kill person. It's
I should be the
everyone's
leader.
a little gray.
Well, he's like also
Great.
he's like baby Damon, right? Like he gives
He
you
totally
very
is.
like
Yeah.
Yes.
like
Yeah.
bad boy second brother vibes, where he's like very good at combat, wants to be the king, can't be the king because birthright, and has done everything in his power to become king. But this sort of solidifies him never being king. And then like his brother is just a disaster playboy, and
Yeah.
And didn't want to
Viserys
be
just
king.
never liked them
Yeah.
either. Which was interesting how he's like on his deathbed thinking he's talking to Rhaenyra and he's talking to the queen and
Yeah.
talking about the White Walker situation, like the premonition and things like that.
Yeah,
which
it's
was
all a
interesting.
misunderstanding basically that's causing this whole giant war that's about to unfold. Right?
Yeah, although I think Otto Hightower might have tried to do it anyway.
Oh yeah, he did
is,
say
like,
they were planning it regardless. So
They
I mean,
were
like I said,
planning it behind her back. Yeah.
I know.
like I said, that
Of
that
course
is the
they
one thing
were.
that bugs me is that he knew he was poisoned, cast him away, and then there wasn't another person in his keep that was good enough to be the hand of the king. You know, he's like, well, I guess
Yeah.
I gotta have the guy that's poisoning my thoughts
think-
back.
At that point, it was just like Alicent pulling all the strings, which just was Otto pulling all the strings.
Could've
It
been,
seemed
yeah.
like Viserys had kind of given up with any kind of king stuff until Rhaenyra came to his bedside and was like, I need you to vouch for me because this is impossible.
Yeah.
Like, I need you to do something. And that's when he finally stepped back up. But it seemed like he was just in his poppy land, just like vibing for most of it.
But like,
When he came out
lived
and
10
went to
years
the-
too long.
He lived
Yeah.
a long time.
Well, when he
Hey,
when he
Poppy
walked,
strong.
when he walked to the throne, I thought
Yeah.
that was an incredible scene.
Yes,
Oh,
that
it was
was.
incredible.
Yep.
Also, the
last
part
rule.
where the crown drops and Damon picks it up and puts it on his head was actually improvised.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it wasn't in the
Oh.
script. And that was everyone saying, like, that is the most amazing part, that it's showing, like, a brother finally being like, oh,
Yeah.
crap, you know, my brother is in trouble. I'm going to be there for him.
Yeah, exactly. It
was
solidified
really
that
powerful.
relationship. Like
Yeah.
it finally had come full term. And yeah.
I'm glad
I
that
just-
he did that because that was a really powerful moment, especially when
was.
that was
Mhm.
like his last moment with him.
Yeah. I just realized Damon is the other one that didn't really age. Sir Kristen
really
and
age, no.
Damon basically look exactly the same from 2 decades of time.
He must have
passing.
been such a much of a younger brother to Viserys, you know,
I know,
where
right?
he was incapable to rule because he was so young, and so he just
Yeah.
acted out and lashed out like a little
Yeah.
youngo buddy boy. But I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Wild.
there it is. Spoiler discussion.
Yeah. I very much enjoyed it. It feels good to be in a Game of Thrones world again, and politics being at the forefront and not just like, let's have big spectacle kabooms and rush all the writing.
Yeah.
So it does feel good to be in that again.
How many seasons do you think we're gonna get out of this?
Didn't they
I
say
feel like they've said
like 7 or something?
4?
Oh, was it 4?
Was it 4? House of Dragon seasons.
This let's see.
I could have sworn I heard something. But maybe
I don't
not.
know if there's any official plans.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know where I heard 4.
I hope it doesn't end up being like the Game of Thrones one where it's like 8 seasons and the end is just like cabalishable.
That would be
I
a
just
disaster, right?
Man, when I was watching
Doesn't count. The end of that does not count. No, that is not.
watching the end of
not
House
real.
of Dragon made me just more angry at Game of Thrones, because like you built up to this huge thing where everyone's rallying against the White Walkers. It's a huge deal. The long night lasted a day, and yeah, so rushed,
So
really rushed.
that is one other criticism that I do have of House of the Dragon is that without some sort of mystical White Walker type of thing, it does kind of feel like Days of Our Lives with medieval times and dragons, you know?
Yes. These are the days of our bloody lives.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, there's moments that I have about that. Through the season, it was like it started out strong, and then the middle episodes for me, I was kind of like, I'm not really feeling super connected to some of this stuff. But then the last 2 episodes really solidified it to where I was like, okay, yeah, I want to see now that a lot of this stuff has been established, and I know where the pieces are on the board. I'm like, okay, let's see some stuff happen in season 2. But that is one of my main criticisms right now is that
Hey, you have the prophecy theft of the White Walkers coming, you know.
totally.
Well, it's
But
also
it does happen in
interesting.
Game of Thrones.
But then a lot of people hate that because
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was
yeah?
one of the really poor
Woo-woo.
points of season 8. So
Yeah.
they're like, you can't keep saying, oh, the White Walker's going to be this huge thing when we already know that it's not a huge thing. The prince that was promised never happened.
Yeah.
So people are wondering if they're going to not like completely retcon it in the Jon Snow show, but maybe add a little more context to the prince that was promised.
Oh, interesting.
Well, also they're losing the showrunner writer guy. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Didn't know that.
The
Yeah, I didn't know
the guy who's in that post-show scene where it's the 2 writers talking, the one with the darker hair, he isn't back next season. He says it's too stressful writing for Game of Thrones shows because he's been there since.
I believe it. I really believe it. That's got to be like they had the largest season finale. Like it was the most viewership ever in HBO. So of course that's going to be like, oh man, so stressful trying to get that right. Oh man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We'll
Especially
see what
all the
happens.
stuff going on.
Just between Witcher and Game of Thrones, just new writing just makes me a little nervous.
Please don't mess up these IPs.
They better not. This is like they took Game of Thrones from being like a thing that people just hated because of season 8. People always say, the first 4 seasons are incredible, but season 8 and well, even seasons before that were so bad that it made it go from the best TV show ever to people just not talking about it unless they were talking about how much they hated it. And House of Dragon brought it back. So they really don't want to mess that up because you don't want to mess it up twice. I don't know how many more chances you get if you mess it up twice.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of money to mess up on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we better wrap up this episode. We're
Alrighty.
past an hour. That's our thoughts on House of Dragon.
I enjoyed it. I had a good time, and now the Dance of Dragons has begun.
It has begun. Yes. I'm looking forward to next season. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the episode. Thanks for tuning in, hanging out. Mav, what do you got going on this week?
Oh my gosh, what do I got going on this week? Oh, my friend Avery's coming back out. She's actually moving back out, and so
she's moving back.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Little Seehaw, if you don't know her, she's the Just Dance streamer here on Twitch, and
Very cool.
she'll be out this week. And then we're doing
like a stream,
Thanksgiving streamy stuff, or just
awesome
charity stream fulfillment.
Very cool. Looking forward to it. Watts, you dropped another video also, right? A new
I did. It's about cryosthesia and shatter dive.
Nice.
If you want to be a stasis hunter again, it's really fun.
Go check it out. Yeah.
You should do that. And I'm thinking of playing Signalis this week. Signalis, it's on Game Pass. It is an indie game and it's spooky, so it kind of fits with everything. But it's got really good reviews, and it's listed as a classic survival horror experience. But it's got really cool graphics, like really cool.
Cool.
So yeah, I want.
This is the indie dev era for sure,
really
and like
is,
indie
right?
game era.
They can take so many. Well, I don't know if they can take the risks, because if they do, they lose their entire studio. But they
lose
do
their
tend
house.
to take more risks because they don't have a board being like, or investors being like, no, that's not going to make us money.
Yeah, how much Call of Duty to put in this to make sure we make this not much money from all these past Call of Duties? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that is SideQuest. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Shout out to our Patreon members and our Twitch subs for supporting the shows on the feed. We appreciate all of you guys, and see you next week.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Woo!
Bye, everyone.
Bye.